Do you hear it? Does it still ring for you? Hello, this is the PhD podcast. My name is Kellen King.
I'm Tommy DeSalt.
And if you couldn't hear that, that was a sleigh bell from Santa's sleigh. And you're a non-believer, okay? You need to go back to church or whatever you have to do to believe back into Santa. Tommy, do you remember the first time you heard the sleigh bell?
Yeah, actually, I could tell you, I was in New York. I was a kid, and we were staying at my grandma's house in Syracuse, and I remember to this day that was the first time I heard the sleigh bells ringing. I heard something on the roof, and that was my first encounter with Santa.
I'll tell you mine, and this is actually one of the first time me and Tommy met. Actually, this might have been the first time we met.
Yeah.
I was just laying in bed, I think I was like 8 or 9 years old, and honestly, I was not believing at this time,
Like Kellen had a little, in the interim period of not quite hearing the sleigh bells. Right. I had been hearing them pretty regularly.
And I just remember this train, we didn't even live by the railroad tracks. And I'm talking, it was the loudest fucking noise I've ever heard. I put on my robe, I went out there, and Tom Hanks is just hanging out. He's got a conductor hat on. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? He's asking me for my ticket. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he's like, we're going to the North Pole. And I'm just like, what? At like 4 a.m? Why are you out here? And so what ended up happening is I get on the train and I see little Tommy over there.
Yeah.
You were going to the North Pole too.
Dude, I was lit up like a Christmas tree. Yeah. I was ecstatic.
And see, I didn't believe at this point. Like, so just having a train there, like, this was a big deal, I guess, for me. But there was a bigger deal for this nerd that was sitting next to us. Do you remember this kid with the glasses?
Yeah. No, he was the worst.
Oh, this is a B-16 Duncan engine. We love this train. This is the best train out there.
I'm just like, dude, okay. And we're going, I guess.
He was like that kid in 3rd grade that had figured out math, and I was a little behind.
Yeah.
And he would always trick me, man.
Yeah.
He would always trick me.
And
it was dude, I didn't know that there was math questions that were trick questions.
Yeah, and he was like, hey, isn't the homework due today? Do we want to turn that in? And he was just like, dude, whole time annoying. Like, just
like, you knew that we didn't all have it done.
Right. And so anyway, like, we're just sitting there and all this shit. And then some, like, I'm not kidding you, all these, like, guys just start barreling through the door, doing cartwheels, and they're like having this song and dance that that they practice or performed or whatever.
It
was
just orchestrated,
shooting hot chocolate out of every orifice of everything. They're just going everywhere and just like little fountains just shooting.
Dude,
they're throwing these cups out to us, and I'm looking over at you, and you're like,
dude, I didn't want to.
You lactose intolerant?
Well, dude, it was like before that was a known fact or anything.
This is like
it was the discovery exploratory phase of that. Yeah, dude. I didn't know, but like certain days of the week at school, like I'd get sick,
and you just didn't know what
I had
was
no
going
idea what were feeding us or what was in the milk.
Yeah, I mean, they had to have put something different into it. I don't know if it was the spirit of Christmas, but it definitely messed with my stomach. I remember having to go to the bathroom, but I was looking for it, and somehow you and I got kind of on top of the train.
We looked at each other.
Yeah, look at this jackass. Do you see a pic? That's what do you remember him?
Yeah.
We're looking at the nerd that
100%.
Yeah.
Dude, I tell you what, I remember we locked eyes, and it was like this, are you gonna do it?
Are you gonna shit first?
Are you gonna do it? Are you gonna drink this? Are you gonna drink this? Like, I knew what was in store, but I also was like, there is a chance if I don't drink this milk.
Do you remember?
I'm not gonna get what.
So we were kind of like looking for the bathroom, and somehow we made it up on top of the train. And you got to realize this train is barreling down these railroad tracks at like 120 miles per hour, right? I mean, we're going through the snow and all this stuff, but I just remember seeing this like campfire up there. And so I was like, this guy's got to know over, something is going to be going on up here. So I remember going up there, and there was just this hobo just hanging out, drinking some like sock coffee, just like, and I was just like, he was saying all these like weird things that I feel like my grandpa used to say right before he kind of passed away.
Lots
just
of
like
one-liners
that I'm just like, okay, yeah, just let him have his moment. But you told me later on that you don't remember a guy ever being up there.
No, I completely, I had no idea the entire time.
He was just,
everyone was looking out the window.
Dude, he was creepy. I won't lie, but he kept on like dissipating into the air, like into the snow. And then I'd see him again. You'd swear to me that you didn't see him?
Dude, I wouldn't lie to you.
Okay. All right.
After all these years,
so
I would have told you.
I guess. But I mean, he also he was at the North Pole for a little bit. I do want to say though, we didn't make it out of the train. We didn't get to go see the factory. I remember the elf kid, or not the elf kid, the know-it-all kid was all about the elves.
Yeah, I was holed up
in the bathroom.
I was in the caboose.
Yeah, and we were just blowing that place up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you could hear the bell, congratulations. You're still a believer. We are close to the most wonderful time of the year.
Yeah.
It is coming up, Christmas, and I wanted to ask you.
He played the drums.
Oh, wow. I used to sing in our band, actually, for a little bit. This was when we were in middle school.
Oh, did we have a
Are
band?
you the little drummer boy?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
You missed it. I was trying to thank you. That was
Well, thank you. Sorry. So I wanted to know, because I do remember, one of the kids got a gift at the end of the.
I felt like Tony Hinchcliffe, and I had set up my guest for a slam dunk.
And he just missed it. You should have said little.
Okay.
Play. I don't know.
I know. I should have been
because I do play the drums, so it kind of threw me for a
I should
little.
have said little.
When the kid came back, he had a sleigh bell because Santa gave him the first gift of the year, and I was like, that's a pretty shitty gift, right? Like a sleigh bell that doesn't even ring. So I wanted to know, Tommy, or have you gotten a gift that you had to just like swallow your pride and be like, thank you, this is a great gift. Like, thank you so much, Aunt Carol or whoever, and
Yeah.
Do you have one that comes to your memory or not?
Yeah. There was one year, and that moment. You know exactly the moment I'm talking about when it's your turn. Like everyone in the room is looking at you.
I will say this. I want to ask this first also. Do you guys open presents all at the same time, or do you guys go oldest to youngest, youngest to oldest? Do you guys do it that way?
Depends what family.
Yep, the dynamic.
With. Yeah. Like
so this is one
like
where
some family side is it's one at a time.
Yeah.
And you open all of your gifts.
Oh, okay.
We
go rounds.
Yeah, rounds.
Yeah, I'm the little elf that gives them out to everybody, and then they'll open them one by one. So it's your turn. You're opening a gift.
Right. Yeah, it's my turn. So all eyes on me. I unwrap it. It was a picture frame. But
that's it?
There was no picture in the picture frame.
You can put whatever you want in that. A picture is worth 1,000 words. How much is a picture frame?
You know what? I think it was like one of those things where the like fake picture was already a cool picture. So it was like
it was a very diverse family holding each other.
Yeah.
The worst is when like your cousin's sitting next to you and he just opened like an Xbox.
Yeah.
And then you have your gift picked out and you're next and you open it, it's socks.
Yeah.
And you gotta like
fucking
react
bullshit.
with the same reaction.
But I mean, there was other years where like I got a Snickers bar,
But
I was
my grandma. We would go to my grandma. This isn't the worst gift. I just want to tell this because I was thinking about what Miss B said. I have a cousin that's about my age, and we would kind of get the same gifts. Like, I would get an Xbox. I had an Xbox, and my grandma would get, like, some game for me. And it was always a game that my parents had picked out and, like, gave, it was one of those things where she had no idea what she picked out, kind of a thing, and she would be like, "Yeah, I picked that out just for you." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I remember the year that like I was still getting video games, and my cousin got like something kind of more adult, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And he's younger than me,
Oh man.
and I'm like, "Oh,
They think
maybe
you're,
next year I need to not get video games because maybe it's that time to grow up a little bit."
Yeah, but it's the easy thing for you.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah,
going like
it's a home run.
Yeah.
I will tell you my worst gift. It's pretty bad. You can tell that. Okay, so we were with some relatives. These are second cousins. They live in the town that my grandma lived in. They show up to this event too. Everybody has a name that they pick, I believe, and you can tell that they just went to like the CVS down the street right before.
Oh yeah, it's like trying to get a last minute card,
Yeah.
or something.
And they gave me tattoo Band-Aids.
Hell yeah. Everybody needs some tattoo Band-Aids in your cabinet.
It's pretty bad. It was just a box and it said Band-Aid on it, and it had like a lion and a dragon, and I think it was like zoo.
Damn.
But that was pretty bad, and I don't think I ever used a single one. I was out of the age too where the tattoo Band-Aids would have been cool, even if I was needing to buy Band-Aids. But I was also never the age where tattoo Band-Aids would have been a good gift for me.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a lame gift, but I had to, oh my, thank you so much.
I have a good one.
Pete, what's the worst gift you've ever received?
So usually every year there's always like one gift you're like, what were you thinking? So one year, one of my family members, she's known to shop at like art fairs at their church, and she'll get our gifts in like March.
Yeah. She's
And
got
so
it
you
packed.
don't need to send her a list because she's already gotten it.
Mm-hmm.
She means well. Well, this one year, and if you tell her, like I was a cheerleader, my dad's a firefighter, my mom was a teacher for a while.
Uh-huh.
Like you're getting a themed present every year. But this year, she went a little rogue. And I opened this box, and it was like office supplies that were personalized, which sounds like, oh, that's cool for your desk.
Mm-hmm.
I was like a freshman in college, and it was like hot pink and lime green polka dots with my name in like the tackiest font.
Oh.
And I'm like, what? And when am I going to use this?
They do that on The Office. One of them, I think Kelly gets one.
Yeah.
And it would work for her. I mean, they're in The
Yeah.
Office, but not for a, 19, 18-year-old.
I was like, oh, thank you so much.
It's tough.
What would you say would be the best gift you ever got? I already know mine. I asked for it for like 6 years straight. It was my first drum set. That was it. Little Drummer Boy. Now you can make the joke. Now you can say something if you want. I get the first gift that I really liked was my drum set.
I touched your drum set.
Oh damn. Okay, I thought you were gonna get with your nuts.
No, dude. Yeah. No, the best gift.
Yeah.
I'll tell you. You know what? I have a second worst gift, real quick.
Okay.
And it wasn't by any stretch a jab, but last time I was in rehab, the only thing you could get your like son or child or whoever was in there was a watch.
Why?
Like a cheap watch, like $15, $25 watch.
Why?
Because we were all in a basically.
Why watches?
So, dude, the thing is because it was like pretty like militant on
where do you
time.
need to be? Yeah.
But the ironic thing was that was the worst thing to have
Because
in
you would
rehab was watch.
Because you would always just know what time it was. Yeah.
It's like, fuck.
That's why they don't have them in Las Vegas.
So that did suck. But yeah, exactly. When you're in the casinos
no watches.
and you're at the table, there's no clocks on the wall.
Yeah. But when you're waiting to get out of this fucking place.
But the best gift, besides my beautiful girlfriend.
I knew you were going to say that.
Barf.
I was waiting for that. God. Okay, what?
Dude, you gotta go for points when you can get them, man.
Okay.
Okay. Dude, 100%.
Do you remember your what was your second favorite gift?
I got a gun. That
Nice.
was
From the home video?
yeah, the first gun I ever got.
Like
That was mine.
like a 22 or like a BB gun?
Yeah, it was like it was a high powered pellet gun.
There you go.
It was a 20. It was a Red Ryder BB gun
Yeah.
with a clock.
With a compass in the stock.
Oh, compass in the stock.
Yeah.
I can't remember what he says.
I
actually.
butchered that.
It's okay.
Fine. We knew it.
Oh
I knew
yeah,
it.
it was yeah.
We'll edit it in post. Don't worry.
Okay. Perfect.
No, but the getting the, and then the next year I got it was like a level up gun after year like
You
for
get
me.
a better one. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually this is a good segue because we talked about the Gaylord and being different places, and I had told you that there was a phase where every year my family would meet at Bass Pro Shops.
Is it because y'all were all over?
Yeah,
the
it was
place?
like a central kind of thing. But so one year we were there. Then my dad he got me a rifle, a 30-30 lever action, little John Wayne, little brush gun for you.
That thing's powerful.
But yeah, man, I tell you what, getting the first gun that wasn't like my pawpaw's or someone else's that I was just using, it was like I can go shoot squirrels and rabbits and birds and whatever, and it's mine.
My all the guns that I would get were hand-me-downs, which I liked though because they were worth quite a bit of money, because they were like my grandpa's, but they're from some of them are like German guns from the war, like they're from some pretty sick guns. Now I don't have them all with me because I don't want to lose any of them, but I have never for a gift I've never gotten like a brand new rifle or anything like that. As my own, I've just always been, which I don't know. I feel like,
I feel like it's even cooler when it is handed down.
It was, I mean, because me and my dad on Christmas Day, when everybody was getting like the dinner and stuff ready, when we were at we would usually go to my grandma's house, and we would go out because my grandma had like a farm and she had a ranch, but she didn't live there. We just had like the land.
Yeah.
We would go out there and shoot skeet every Christmas Day, and that was like a tradition for a long time. So we would grab like.
Was he like a real asshole or something?
What do you mean?
He'd shoot skeet.
Yeah, well, no, like
I'm
clay pigeons.
kidding.
Gotcha. Yeah. But it was fun, so that's what we used to do for a long time. But now we've kind of, since she passed away, we haven't done that in a while. Like we've been like kind of having Christmas either at our house, the cousins will come to here, or we'll go there, kind of a thing.
Sorry, I was just singing Yay, as he's now known, calling
Pete
skeet.
Pete Davidson. Yeah.
Anyways,
Which is he? She's probably going to be knowing more about this than we do. Is he dating Emily Ratajkowski? Are they done? What's going on with that?
Pete Davidson?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, me neither.
I thought that was a rumor for a while, but then there's like pictures.
Yeah,
but I remember thinking it was a rumor that he was with Kim Kardashian. So then that was a real thing. So what's your
B? What's a gift that you got that you, and don't say Tommy. If I'm gonna throw,
I did. Okay, hold the fuck up.
Oh, hold on. My best gift is Lulu. Okay, now
just saying, you got to get points when you can get them.
My favorite gift I ever got was my Rock Band set, and it came with the mic and the guitar, 2 guitars, and the drum set. None of my friends had the set with the drum set, so.
You know what I would think about with Rock Band is all those instruments, like, guitar, bass. Like, yes, you can understand how guitar works and you can understand how bass works and all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
But it doesn't necessarily teach you how to play those things.
At all.
No.
The drums, on the other hand, are pretty similar to how you would play the drums.
It's like playing on a pad, yeah.
Yeah, basically it's playing on a pad. And it, that would be if I had to go learn drums, like for the first time as like a little, 10 or 11-year-old little drummer boy, I would, Rock Band. That would be the first gift. If somebody was like, hey, I want drum set, I'd be like, okay, let's.
That's funny because I was at a house the other night and they were giving their child a little junior guitar.
Yeah.
So they found out along the way it was that I played guitar and whatever. So I was tuning the guitar for them, and then like halfway in the process, I was like, "Why the fuck am I tuning this guitar? Like, it's not gonna matter." But
It's gonna go out of tune. Yeah, it's just a little.
Because when you give a kid a guitar,
But dude, think about it this way: you were the first person to tune his guitar, or
his
guitar.
It's cool.
And then
It's
let's
cool.
say like later on, guitars
So-
are a big thing in his life, and he's like, "Oh, you remember? Yeah,
Well,
Tommy
I'm just
was-
saying, like, I mean, I started when I was 6 years old,
Yeah,
but I couldn't play the guitar at 6 years old.
no,
It's terrible to listen
and it
to.
probably sat
At
on.
least, like, and there's some prodigies out there.
Yeah,
Like, shout out Jack Barksdale. Kid is an animal on guitar. And you know, there are childlike prodigies.
Oh, yeah.
But I see a lot more of that besides guitarists with drummers because
Dude, there's a
some of those
bunch of small kids
are
on.
wild.
I've seen because algorithm kind of has me down up there, and I see a bunch of little kid drummers, and I'm like, damn, if I was this good when I was that age, I would have, that would have been it for me. I love playing the drums, and we've kind of talked about it.
Sure.
You were a little bit more serious about all of it than I was, but it comes in phases, ebb and flows. I sometimes I'd be like, this is what I want to do, let's do it.
Exactly.
But those kids, I mean, they're better than I am. I was watching this one kid fill in for his dad at like a church service or something, and he's just like killing it. And I have it saved. Maybe would that hit us if we had it? If we
yeah, let's just not.
let's just not. We've been having trouble playing when we play stuff. It gets flagged, and we have to pull down episodes.
We've
So.
had to take down several now.
They're trying to pull us off the internet,
Dude, and I don't get it because like some of the bigger channels, like they
I'm telling you, we got to figure
do
that out.
stuff all the time.
We just got to
They
figure it out.
pay for
Yeah.
copywriting.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Well, yeah.
I
I
thought it
don't
was
know.
20. I've always heard it's 20 seconds. If you can get it under 20 seconds, you're good. But I don't think that. I mean, there's other places that are wrong. So maybe podcasts. That's
Who
one
knows?
thing.
If you know, you can comment and let
Please.
us know.
Please, because
Yeah.
when we played Marvin's Room the other week, I'm sure that one got flagged really hard. But we were just trying to do a bit. Okay. That's
The Shark Boy bit got
Flagged.
flagged also.
But I was
So,
I was all about that.
it was worth it.
Yeah. I would say, okay, I talked about it, I think 2 podcasts ago about the Power Rangers. That was another one of my favorite gifts. My parents got me it was like I want to say like a big bucket, but it had, or like, it was just like, it looked like a suitcase, and it was a Power Ranger like suitcase, and inside of it was just full of Power Rangers. Like I said, we still have Billy just sitting over here, but had all of the Power Rangers with the flip heads. It had all of the Nemesis. Then they threw in some, Ninja Turtles, because I wasn't in Ninja Turtles, but for the most part, I had like 50 Power Ranger toys,
Damn.
like just right off the rip. So
There you go.
that was another one. And then I got my first CD for Christmas. Did you remember your first CD? I was thinking about that yesterday, actually. Like,
I remember my first cassette.
cassette.
Was
What are you, 90?
Brooks and Dunn.
Yeah.
But yeah, my first CD, one of my first CDs was
Mine's different than yours. I know it.
3 Doors Down.
Ooh.
I want to say was one of the first that was like gifted to me.
Mine was one of the NSYNC albums. But I was thinking about it yesterday because I was with Lulu's son. We were having a fun day together. And I was like, he's never going to know what his first CD was. It's just like, because, it's all
I don't
streaming.
think. Yeah, exactly.
It's all streaming. And so I was like, and I know like the artists he's into or whatever. And it's mainly just mainstream stuff that's on the radio. But I was like, he's never going to have, and which, NSYNC was on the radio. They were mainstream. But he's never going to have like a moment where it's like, I like this artist.
Yeah.
Let's get their CD. It's
Yeah.
more of like, I like this artist. Let's just play their songs. on
Dude,
my
I
phone.
remember the first show where I just made the decision. I was like, you know what? I'm not even going to bring CDs tonight. Like people, it's like you go see a local band
Oh,
and people have CDs.
yeah.
Um,
But that'll get you some money, though.
and it's like it does. But then it was
Because they want to
it
support
was
you.
yeah, it was less and less. But then it was like, well, T-shirts are so much better in that way if you want to support something.
Sure.
Because like most people don't even have access to, dude. Most cars don't even have a CD player anymore.
And it's marketing too, because like
Yeah,
you're not gonna wear a CD all day like around your neck, but if you have a shirt, you know, people will be like, "Who's that? What band is that? Oh, they're really good. This is my, you know."
here's
I
what.
saw him the other day.
Yeah, no, exactly.
So
and to,
shirts would be the way to go for sure.
and to the other thing, I'll tell you one thing that sucks. Is now with the digital, you know, there are bands that I loved that are no longer together, that their music didn't carry over to, like, they weren't huge
Mm-hmm.
and didn't carry over to Spotify or any of these
Yeah,
other
they
platforms.
quit before that, or
And all you have is like that one CD, and it gets a
Mhm.
little scuffed and scratched along the way, and you're like,
Yeah.
fuck, dude, I can't ever go find that song again.
And speaking of, I hate that I do it, but I haven't had an ice scraper in my car, and it's been a little bit icier these last couple weeks. And I'll find one of those old CDs in the car, and I've just been
It becomes
scratching
a
it
tool.
up. Yeah, it has been. Let's take a little break.
Let's do it.
When we come back, you're telling me about what is this website that you're using? It's something wager. I can't remember.
We're gonna
Healthy
dive
wager?
right into some an interesting commercial we saw, but we'll be right back.
Welcome back. When we left off, we were talking about what. Remind me of the name of the website.
Yeah, so it's Healthy Wager.
Healthy Wager.
Yeah,
And so you can. I mean, and
we're
they're
not getting paid by them.
They're not a sponsor. We just
but
wanted to
it
get
was
the name
just-
right.
It was just, yeah. Miss B and I were watching TV. We don't often watch too much regular TV, but it was just one of those nights, Kellen, where you're just laid back and
Mhm.
it's like, you know what?
Long day at the
We're
office.
just gonna watch regular TV, and a commercial came on.
I thought it was for the UFC fight
Is that?
last night.
Well, whatever it was.
I don't know.
This
I thought it was. I don't
commercial
know.
came on.
Anyways,
Anyways, the commercial came on, and it was so wild to me that I hadn't thought of it already, because money is a great motivator.
Yep.
And
Probably
you can
greatest.
people always say, what do they say, Kellen? They say bet on yourself, right? Well, what better way to, put a carrot in front of you than money?
Yeah.
So you can target how much weight you want to lose, how short of a time you want to lose, and that dictates, how much money you can actually win if you do accomplish the goal.
I got a couple questions because you were telling me about it a little bit. How do they know how much you weigh? Like, let's say I weigh like right now I weigh like around 190. Okay. Let's say I went on there and I tipped the scales a little bit and I said, hey, I weigh 300, and by the end of, the holiday season, I want to get around to 185. All right. So all I really do is weigh 5 pounds or, lose 5 pounds. But I told them, I was going to lose all this other weight. So how did you go in, or did it even tell you anything about that? Sorry for putting you on the hot seat because I see you scrolling.
Yeah.
Trying to find the answer.
So like, you probably have to, make an account to get all those fine print details.
Yeah.
But how it works, you calculate your prize. So they don't, it doesn't ask in the initial prompt how much you weigh, but it's how much do you want to lose. So from there, I'm sure that you have to submit, a doctor's, something, I'm sure.
And for those of y'all wondering, how much are we talking? Like, is it $5 here and there?
So it's up to $10,000.
That's fucking nuts.
But here's the kicker, is the longer amount of time, the longer you need to reach your goal and the less weight you're trying to lose, the smaller the money, obviously.
Right.
So, like here, I'll put it in is say I want to lose 100 pounds.
That's
okay.
okay.
So you're probably, it's probably time if you're
Yeah.
trying to lose 100.
Yeah.
Now how long do you want to reach your goal?
Actually, wait for Christmas dinner, then. So you said it's probably time. No, wait maybe 2 more weeks.
So for the average person, let's say they just wanted to put, basically $100 a month. It's by the month.
Okay.
So if it was like $105, 100 pounds in 18 months, your price range would be between $2,400 and $4,200.
Damn.
Now, if you took that from 18 months, and you took it down,
yeah, I'm seeing it
to like 7 months, it drastically changes basically.
I'm seeing
based
it
on
crawl
the time.
down. Yeah.
So, it's like you got to challenge yourself. But yeah, I don't know.
Maybe I need to do that. I need to lose at least. I want to lose 15 pounds. Like I said, my sweet spot's like around 175, 180. I'm sitting here probably around. I think I'm at 190. I said that, but it's been a couple weeks since I weighed myself. But I don't even. Yeah, that's like not even. Is it? Are you doing it for me?
How many months do you need to
I
lose
need-
15 pounds?
Oh, 2 weeks.
Okay, so a month.
Yeah, let's do a month.
It looks like the minimum might be
6 weeks.
6 months.
6 months.
Let's see.
All right. Well, let's say.
Yeah, it's 6 months is the
All
minimum.
right. Okay. Christmas is coming up. I'm going to be eating a lot more. So let's say that I want to lose 30 pounds.
Okay.
Okay. And then we'll do 6 months, even though that seems.
Okay. So 30 pounds, 6 months. How much are you willing to bet a month, Kellen?
I have to bet. Months? Do I lose money if I.
Yeah. How much do you want to invest?
Oh, God.
You're betting on yourself, bro.
Investing in your future.
Okay. Yeah. Fine. Sure. We'll throw
this
$200.
Sounds like an
$200.
$200 a month.
No, a month for 6 months. No,
yeah,
we're gonna do $50.
Okay, you gotta spend money to make money.
I know.
$50, 6 months, and 30 pounds puts you somewhere in the price range of $327 to $766.
Fuck that. All right. Well, whatever. I mean, at least I might be making money. But how do they check me along the way? Like there's just a lot.
Well, I'm sure you have to make an account.
Yeah, that's why I need to call. That's why
you call them on Monday. You can call them.
They're open 24/7.
There you go.
But yeah,
it's just an interesting.
It's an interesting concept. Yeah. Am I for it? Yes. But does it work for me? Probably not. Should you have done that? Because I feel like you had to change jeans before we started filming.
Dude, I've
You have the
lost.
saggiest butt going on.
I've lost like 20 pounds.
You got the Hank Hill ass.
I lost a lot of the midsection.
There you go. That's good.
Yeah, man. But it kind of sucks. Like,
how does losing weight
well,
suck?
I bought a bunch of clothes. I don't know. I was like, you know what? I think I like being a little bigger. And then kind of just, started eating a little bit better. Not really like trying, but
let me ask. Okay.
Lifestyle changes.
I want to ask you this. We are, obviously in the most wonderful time of the year. It's Christmas time. Do you guys do any of the Yankee Swap or Dirty Santa or whatever it's called, White Elephant gift stuff where you get with a lot of people, of your friends, and you just pick? Do you know what I'm talking about? Am I just rambling and you don't?
No, dude. I've played plenty of those little games.
What is your go-to gift for one of those?
Well, it used to be like a couple bottles of alcohol.
Yeah.
And like a sex toy.
Yeah. That's like the bread and butter.
Usually like a good little gag.
Yeah.
Gift.
I would get like KY jelly is usually a good one because honestly, even if you're not sexually active, you can still use it with yourself. So it's
Do you
always,
want me to take that to my white elephant gift exchange with my grandparents?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do it.
Perfect.
Do it. That's
I mean, typically, like, yeah, there's either family edition or it's like friends
edition. Yeah, and it's like Apples to Apples, which is a card game, and
Yeah.
Cards Against Humanity. So there's like
Yeah.
you got the
They're
kids
like,
version.
Know your audience.
Know your
Read
audience.
the room.
Yeah. I'll tell you, we haven't done it. We haven't done it the last couple Christmases, but there used to be like this tradition where we had a like Bad Santa or White Elephant, and
Right.
The gifts got pretty wild. It was a bunch of my friends, and some of them were giving out live animals.
Man.
And it was pretty fucked
chickens
up.
or-
Yeah, there was some chicks, and then there was a lobster. There was a live lobster, and that one
Interesting.
really got the PETA crowd of
Yeah.
the friend group like really upset. But then the PETA group tried to save and everyone's drunk. This is like
Oh,
at 2
no.
o'clock in the morning, and they're like trying to like
Dude.
do stuff with the animals, and they're trying to like bring this animal or trying to keep this animal to survive. So they put it in bath water. They don't put salt in it. And it just dies immediately because it can't. Lobsters are sea
I would have
creatures.
started the boiler up.
Yeah,
I
we had to bury it the next day.
would have.
I gave we used to do one with my cheer team in college, and I gave, I guess it was Secret Santa. It wasn't a gift exchange, never mind, but I gave him a betta fish.
Ooh,
But I gave him a tank and all the setup, so.
there you go. Do you have what's the best gift that you've gotten from one of those? I'll go first, so I'll let you think or whatever. Actually, I think it was last year. Maybe it was 2 years ago. Maybe we still are doing it. I just have lost time and track of things. I got a Google Home. I got one of those Google Nests.
Oh,
last year.
dang.
So we're moving up, I guess.
That is.
No more
That's
live
another
animals.
caliber.
Wait, Tommy, we did one last Christmas with your family.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Did y'all get some goodies?
I got a really good one. I got a Brewmate and a Target gift card.
Damn.
It was nice.
Yeah. I got the short end last year. But it's okay. It's okay. It was like
you're not gonna call out the gift? Wow.
it was like it's like a modern day heating pad, basically.
Mm. Yeah, I've seen a lot of those. Was it for cramps?
For
For
if you got arthritis or
Oh, okay. Those are good.
aches and pains.
I would like one of those, actually.
But yeah, I never really used it too much, Kellen. I'm not the type of I don't know. I don't
He doesn't
like
relax much, so it's
yeah.
more practical.
You gotta
See
sit
him.
still to
He
do
can't-
that kind of stuff.
He's watching his knees shake.
Yeah,
so
I
weird.
have a hard time sitting still.
What is it called? Yeah, the syndrome leg
I
shit.
tell you what, I probably need to get back meditating and doing some of that
I can
meditation.
never see
It's like
him meditate.
restless leg or
Yeah,
something.
restless leg syndrome.
Yeah, I don't
Somebody-
know about that. I mean, I tell you, like the worst, your legs is like kicking dope. Your like that is the worst thing, is your legs. And oddly enough, like some of that never really went away.
Did you have
I just
a Christmas season out in rehab?
I had several.
What I want to
Like the one where I got a watch was
Yeah.
in a rehab. Been in all different rehabs during Christmas time.
Did y'all have a dirty Santa there?
I tell you what, there was one pretty cool rehab I went to out in California. They had a huge. I mean, they hire basically a whole production to be done outside in the parking lot. They got a little for the families of people can come visit,
Yeah.
and they've got a little kids train going around. They got somebody dresses up as Santa Claus.
Yep.
I mean, it's a whole deal. So that, lots of snacks out. That's pretty cool. That's prime time. Now that's in your kind of, A-list.
Upper echelon
yeah.
rehabs. Yeah.
Yeah, like Dr. Phil status.
Yeah.
Now, but then I've been in,
Maybe one of the ones
been
that
in
like
some
Tiger
some,
Woods went to.
Yeah, I've been in some very, very lower registered
Mhm.
places where, That's just not the case. It's just kind of another day. I mean, it's like Merry Christmas, and you get to open, your letters from your family or whatever.
Mhm.
But you might get a watch, and you might get a extra treat at dinner.
It sounds terrible.
But I mean, that's all dude. It was perspective though.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of holidays away. I'll tell you that actually the first time I ever went to rehab was right after Christmas. We were doing Christmas Eve like games. Do you remember that show Minute to Win It?
Yeah. With was it Howie Mandel?
Howie Mandel, yeah. And we were doing that because you could basically make your own version of that at home, Minute to Win It, with these different games with cups and stuff. And dude, I was shaking so fucking bad that all the cups were flying everywhere. Yeah, dude, it was a nightmare.
You're on the shakes.
And I remember my cousin, they were younger at the time, and he was like, why is he shaking so bad, dude? And I went upstairs, and then anyways, my dad wanted to take me that night, and I was like, it's Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
No, we're good. I'll hang in there. Then they wanted to take me Christmas Day. I just kept putting it off. I was like, maybe tomorrow, maybe tomorrow.
Nervous. It's a minute. I only got a minute.
So I ended up going, but then like New Year's and all that shit happened while I was in, and I was fresh and detoxing, and it was kind of like one of those places where you got to hide cigarettes up in the ceiling tiles.
Okay.
You can use chairs as self-defense. There are gang members in there for sure.
In a rehab spot?
Oh, yeah. It was more of a court-mandated lane of rehab at the time, at least. But, yeah, it was wild. It was like I learned how to actually use drugs when I went there. And I was young. You know what I mean? It was like, you become a better criminal when you're locked up. Like that whole mentality. But it was wild seeing they had fireworks going and everybody's partying down in this valley.
Okay.
And we were outside, and I remember like holding on to this iron gate, just looking out, and I was like, motherfuckers. Like
that SpongeBob meme with Squidward's up in his house.
Yeah. But I tell you what, I've grown to appreciate like moments like that. Makes it even more special these days.
Yeah.
Getting to be around family and you learn when you're away from family, you make your own kind of family.
Oh.
Which is cool about the Christmas season. Is it like Thanksgiving? Yeah, you kind of get that a little bit. People doing food drives and turkey, turkey dinners. But Christmas time, it can be a special time for everybody.
Dude, okay, so I was thinking of like the angel trees that they do. You know what those are? Okay.
Yeah.
We went to the mall for the first time in like years, last week or whatever. And I was thinking about like, first of all, two things. One, the mall during Christmas time back when we were kids, like that was the spot. There was
I forgot there about was like, that.
I remember our parents we'd go out there, they'd give me like some money to get other people's gifts, and then we would just go to different stores and I just remember it being packed. And I mean, I know it was it was a Saturday, it was during the day when we went. It was just kind of lame as fuck. Yeah. It was not what it used to be. And
I'll tell you what, do
you get what I'm saying?
That has faded. Because I remember going to the mall. Now it's like you look in, the mall.
Like every other store is closed down.
Oh, yeah. And then, all the crime going on.
Yeah, there's like public service announcements to avoid certain malls.
Yeah.
Like, okay, perfect.
I've heard that.
It's changed. But But
it's the mall, Hewlin Mall.
Yeah.
It's the mall that like you and I down the street from.
Yeah, Hewlin. Hewlin Mall. Step your game up.
Well, I mean, you know what I mean? Do you remember back in the day, it was just like spot to go for Christmas, get all the gifts.
See, like Ridgemar was the one that was like
the cooler mall.
Yeah.
The cooler mall. But I'm saying like Hewlin was like our staple mall.
Yeah.
Rave was like all right, let's go put on our dress, like our.
Yeah,
like
we're
our
13.
Dress.
What's up?
Let's go. Let's go hit on these
I went
chicks.
to the Parks Mall with my friends.
Hell yeah.
Because of the ice rink.
Oh, yeah.
It was all like decorated for Christmas.
I went there a couple years ago, and it is the same as all these malls. Every other store is kind of either closed down. They've got the big department stores, but all the little ones. But anyway, even Santa, Like there was kids lined up to go see Santa, but it was like going into a bar because you forgot your credit card the next day and all the lights are on and it's just you and like 3 people.
Stale smell of beer on
that's
the floor.
what it made me think of.
Yeah.
And
dude, by the way, Santas also step your game up.
Get fatter.
What the fuck?
What do you mean?
Y'all used to like really fool people.
Oh yeah, I mean,
You seen some of these Santas killing?
well, first I got 2 things.
Oh man.
One, close your eyes. What do you picture Santa as? Because there's a lot of different versions.
He's a little pale. He's got the alcoholic nose. He's all puffy and
alcoholic nose. Does that
and
just mean red?
Yeah. He's got some blush on his cheek, just a
Yeah.
little, but not overdone. Like some of
Yeah.
this makeup you guys are doing is overdone.
Yeah,
And then he's got the
Some of that
whiskers.
funeral.
He's got
makeup.
the great big old beard, but the structure
Yeah,
and the whiskers,
yeah,
his eyebrows. He looked like, when you got like a 6-7 month old puppy that hadn't really been to the groomers yet,
yeah.
and their eyebrows hang over and kind of
Mhm.
poke their eyes a little bit.
Yep.
Like I want a bushy, fucking pale looking
Wow,
alcoholic
pale.
Santa Claus.
How many times you guys say he's white? He's white. He's pale. My Santa's white.
I'm just saying. You asked me what if I close my
I know,
eyes.
I'm just fucking with you.
What Santa looks like?
Does he have sunglasses around the brim of his nose? Is it one of those, or not sunglasses? Just regular reading
Regular
glasses?
glasses. Yeah, he's got some. They're not your narrow readers.
Yeah, I don't think my Santa doesn't. I don't like when they put. He looks more when they do that.
I want the Coke bottle, big old.
When they do those glasses and they do like the robes instead of they look like he looks like a Harry Potter Hogwarts professor, and I don't.
Yeah, that's
there's
true.
a fine line where I don't want my Santa to look like that.
Like we're not here to debate Gryffindor. Like,
Yeah.
we're here for
Yeah,
Santa.
stop rewarding points to Ravenclaw. We are. I'm trying to figure out who's naughty or nice. It
ain't Slytherin.
But I'll tell you this. Yeah. Well, okay. Come on.
They're on the naughty list, probably.
Maybe.
Let me ask you something.
One more thing.
Okay.
My Santa, sometimes, the rest of the year, he's wearing a Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah.
He's got the shorts on. He does still have the hat.
He's in the workshop and he's chilling.
Yeah, he's got the Hawaiian. Have you seen those Santas? Like, you know what I'm talking about? Where it's like,
Yeah.
we're on vacation, and they show that Santa.
Yeah, when I lived in California,
He's a little bit more tan.
some of the gift shops would have like the surfer Santa. And
Yeah, see, that's how I think he works or looks. 11 out of the 12 months of the year. Now maybe he switches it up in November because he knows Black Friday's coming. But prior to that, like that's what I think he normally looks like. That's his kind of casual wear.
yeah, sorry for the Santa tear, but
I also don't think he's married. I know a lot of people are saying that he's.
what?
I don't. I know there's
What
a
about
Miss
Mrs.
Claus.
Claus?
Nah, that's a.
B, weigh in on this.
My Santa's single.
What?
Is your Santa?
How does that work
with
for
Mrs. Claus?
the story?
I've never seen a ring on that dude's finger. Have
That
you ever
is
seen a ring
so
on his finger?
fucking, oh my God, there's no ring on Santa's
There's never,
finger
unless he
ever.
just takes it off because he's going to a bunch of people's houses that night, and he's just
man.
like, "Oh yeah."
I wonder if it's because the elevation. He might get some. It's so cold.
Yeah.
He gets.
But I've never
No,
seen a ring on that
my
dude's finger,
Santa definitely is married to
Okay.
Mrs. Claus.
and and they sleep in different beds, and
Yeah, probably different rooms.
I don't know.
Um,
He probably
oh my
sleeps.
gosh.
He's working late, so he's got to. He just never wears a ring though, and nobody ever paints him or draws a picture with him with a ring on.
Mm.
I'm looking at some Santas here in the background, and those dudes are. If you're in the North Pole and you're swiping right, you're seeing that Santa
Yeah,
on your Tinder, on
Oh,
your
yeah.
Hinge. Like
he's out there. He's spreading all kinds of
Christmas spirit and
yeah.
gifts and wealth. I do know because think about it. He's going to all these single moms' houses every year.
These hoes ain't loyal.
Yeah, late night visits.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's some song like I saw mommy kissing Santa Claus. I don't think I don't think she exists.
Santa fucks.
If we were to believe Santa exists, then just go one step further and say then he is also married. That's where I draw the line.
Yeah, yeah. Damn.
Just think about that.
Santa Daddy.
Hold on, wait. For all you
That's-
cookies and milk fans out there,
Mommy milkers.
That one's still on the board. We haven't used it, I don't think,
Tis the season.
since the very beginning. I do want to ask you.
Tis the season.
We,
Yeah.
We for all the kids out there under age 7, tune out for a little bit. When was the first time you realized old Saint Nick was not what he was cracked up to be? He was not real. We might need to take a break here in a little bit to talk about it because I've got some stories to tell. But I just want to know: were you
Repeat the question?
When did you find out Santa Claus was a fraud?
I was in the lunch line at St. Andrew's School.
Some fucking 5th grade kid.
And no, it's a kid in my class.
Wow.
One of my friends. And dude, he told me it was on a Friday. I remember this.
Like you're getting fired.
And so I remember they got tater tots on the Fridays. Anyways, they always made extra tater tots. I was always stoked. But he told me that we were wrapped in this long line against the wall. We were standing there talking about what we were going to get for Christmas. And I said, well, I don't know if Santa is going to bring this or not. And he stopped me dead in my tracks. He was like, he just shook his head. He kind of lifted his shoulders up, crossed his arms, kind of like this. And he was like, there's no Santa.
Did you believe him or were you?
And I was like, you don't know
What the fuck you're talking about?
You don't know, like, much, do you?
You don't know.
And
You don't know right from wrong, boy.
so then we got into this great debate, and then I think this might also coincide with the, little junior salesman that was me when I was a kid, because his pitch to me was flawless. I mean, like, he led with logic and let emotion, kind of come into play.
How does he go to all the houses all at night?
And then reinforce that emotion I was feeling with further logic. And by the end of it, I was like, you're fucking right.
You were thinking.
So then I was like piecing this together, and I was like, well, he goes, do you, let me ask you, by the way, this little fucking salesman that didn't know he was a salesman.
Guys, by the way, Tommy
Great way
is a
to,
great
Wait.
salesman.
great way.
Helen,
Yeah,
is Tommy a salesman?
he's a sales guy in his blood.
No, but this kid, his name's Ian. Shout out Ian, if you're listening. I don't know if you remember this, but the way he framed it to me was like total control because he was asking questions. So he was like, let me ask you, do you really think that Santa can get through a chimney when we put screens around our chimneys and we keep the squirrels out? Like, how do you get it in a chimney and come down? And
Bro, here's your
how do you carry
rebuttal.
all of that in one bag? It was like everything. Your
rebuttal is magic.
He was armed, locked and loaded. He had every rebuttal just like.
Ian sounds like Ian Ever Scrooge. He does not sound like somebody. He just sounds like he was just bitter. Maybe he didn't have a good Christmas the year before. I mean, he did
He
go to
came from
St. Andrews, so
He came from a realistic home.
Maybe
Yeah.
he didn't get his weenie whistle when he was 3. Name that movie.
I don't know.
Santa Claus.
When I hear
Oh,
Ween, is it?
Weenie
Oh, you know what? Now I remember it. I remember it now. They just came out with another Santa Claus. We can talk about that
I
later.
don't get any love on this freaking podcast.
I thought,
So,
My greatest gift is my girlfriend.
dude, yeah, I know. I went for the low hanging fruit there, but
when we do,
it is what it is. You know what? I get comments, I get DMs as it is. Keep on hating. Just like Elf, I'm in love and I don't care who knows it. But yeah, anyway, so that's when I found out was in the lunch line at school. What about you?
We'll have to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about it, and then
I
we'll
want
talk
to really
about,
deep dive that.
yeah, and then we'll talk about how I've had to figure out with the children that I am helping
Navigating modern day Santa.
Yeah.
Perfect. We'll be right back. We are back, Kellen. I'm pretty excited to hear this. How you figured out that Santa isn't real?
Well, so we're both from Fort Worth. People that aren't from Fort Worth might not know this, but there used to be a Barnes and Noble downtown Fort Worth. Do you remember that spot?
Holy shit! Yeah, we used to hang out there.
Yeah. It was like a 2-story, 3-story Barnes and Noble. It was really nice.
It was nice.
I think we were there around Christmas. I mean, we were around there around Christmas time. And I was like a little kindergartner, little first grader. And these little fuckers, not little, these kids were probably teenagers.
Yeah.
I was by myself, maybe in the kids section, just like reading a book. And they came up to me and just said, "Hey, Santa isn't real." And then walked off.
No fucking way.
And I went up to my parents afterwards and I was like, "Hey, and I mean, just like, then I started like, having those doubts. I was like, "Hey, I had these like teenage kids, I didn't even say that. I had these older boys come up to me and say, Santa isn't real." And they're like, "Who? Which ones? Who said that?" Who? Like they were all hands on deck, like trying to stop this before it started spreading.
Yeah.
But the sleigh bells weren't ringing after that for a while.
Damn.
But then, I kept, even though I told them, like after I said that to them, it planted that seed of doubt, right?
That's all it takes.
They didn't know I was done. Like, I was done kind of early, but we never had that talk. Like there's a couple talks that you have as a parent to your kids. You get the sex talk you have with them. You have the, "Hey, you're old enough now that you gotta, know Santa's not real." We didn't have that at like probably at an age that you probably take your training wheels off for a bike.
Yeah.
So probably like 2nd, 3rd grade, like that's kind of on the outskirts of it, maybe.
Sure.
We hadn't had that talk yet, and my brothers hadn't had that talk with me yet either. And so they're like holding up all these. They're trying to like, do something special for me, like, "Hey, oh, Santa." And I'm like, I'm in 6th grade at this point. I'm like almost in junior high.
Yeah.
And
I
remember,
had it figured out.
Yeah, I remember my brother, like one year, it did snow on Christmas. It's like the only year ever it's ever even gotten close to doing that in Texas. They went all out, and they're like, they put a sleigh bell, like just one that was cut off, threw it in the yard. And they put like little hoof prints,
Yeah, no, they really.
And they're like, "Hey, come look! Like, look what's out here in the snow." I was already not believing any of this. I was like, "What are they doing? Are they just like?"
Was there a second where you like thought twice though?
No, I
just knew. Okay.
I mean, and there's another thing is like there's movies. So here, as a industry, I think Christmas movies need to come together and decide, hey, are we going to try to act like Santa's real or Santa's not real? Because you got those movies where like the whole plot of the movie is the kid doesn't believe, and but then he believes at the end, or the kid believes the whole time and Santa's there the whole time. Like we got to get on the same page. We got to get on the same page.
So here's I do,
because it starts adding questions. Like the adults in the movie are always like, most of them. In some of those movies, they like don't believe, and you're like, okay, well that makes sense because like, how are they getting gifts, or who's putting gifts under the trees for them? And it's just like there's just a lot of shit that just adds up. Christmas Story is one of those too. He believes that, and then he gets it from his dad.
Yeah.
Mom gives him the little wink. Yeah.
Here's the thing: when I was a kid, it was almost spoiled by a grandmother, because my grandma. When we were in New York, I told you I heard the sleigh bells and so forth. There was a Christmas there where I told her I heard Santa on the roof actually, and I heard footsteps and boots coming up these stairs inside.
She's like, call 911.
And well, this was the next morning.
Yeah.
I told her because I was like up at night and I heard all this in the middle of the night.
How do you hear this, by the way?
I
Are
was
you
laying
making
in-
this shit up?
No, I was laying in bed. I heard all this, but
Who did it?
So you were dreaming.
He's
No.
he's getting mad. He's getting mad. Sorry.
No,
All right, let him
no.
finish. Sorry, let him finish. Sorry.
is the next morning. I'm telling everyone as we're eating like the little Christmas breakfast, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, gifts all out at this point, eating Christmas breakfast, and I'm like, guys, I heard Santa last night. I heard him on the roof, but I definitely heard boots in the house. Like it was wild. And she was like, that was your dad.
Damn.
That was your dad. That was, well, there was no footprints. And I remember as a kid, my mom and dad like, oh, no, you heard footprint. Like, and they kept it going.
Yeah.
And like, kind of.
The good Catholic parents that they are.
So, there was a seed planted that Santa wasn't real by my own grandmother. But she probably thought I was way too young to even like know what she was talking about. But regardless, it planted. So then when my boy Ian backed up his argument with logic, then I was like,
So I do.
So with these movies, is
they
like,
start planting seeds too because they like add logic to it, and you're like, damn, my boy Ian said the same thing. Like, I do remember though, like the reason why I said in 6th grade they still thought I believed in Santa is because that is when they sat me down, and they're like,
okay,
hey, so you know we got something to tell you, and my brothers were there. You know Santa is not real, right? And I just started laughing. I was like, guys, I haven't. Remember the whole Barnes and Nobles thing, like in kindergarten? It's been a while, okay? I haven't known. I appreciate you guys, like the camaraderie of you guys, like trying to keep it on. I thought we were all just in it together. Like that's why I was pushing back. We're putting stuff out for Santa. I understand Dad eats those cookies, okay? Look at the guy. He's a huge guy, all right? I understand this kind of stuff. So yeah, that was kind of the same thing with me too. Like plant a seed, saw those movies, understood it. And I get that that's supposed to kind of reinforce it. It's like, oh, these people don't believe, but then they do believe at the end and it's supposed to help. But it's like, no, you got too many things going on.
Well, here's an interesting thing about this is Miss B's sister, younger sister, last year was the first year I was, around for Christmas with their family, and I said some shit one day while I was driving. B was riding shotgun and her sister was in the back, and I said a joke about Santa.
Okay.
And so then B, she like pinches the shit out of me. And I just stop at that point. And then when we dropped her sister off, she was like, I don't know that she really knows, or if she does know, she hasn't let us know.
You guys,
and I'm like, she is.
No, I gotta defend her. Okay, keep going. It's
so then, like now at this point, I'm like, with Christmas movies and this and that, I'm like, there's no way she doesn't know.
right.
I think it's one of those things is like she didn't want to admit, because our family.
You think you get worse gifts after you admit that you know who Santa is?
It's like, fuck, it's been a rough year. Dad's on a budget this year.
Because then what happens is, and then I'll let you get back to it. Because what happens is, like think about it with the tooth fairy. First tooth you get, high roller. But the longer I realized that I believed in the tooth fairy, the more money I would get. And then when I, kind of let the cat out of the bag, I was just getting $1 here, $1 there.
Yeah.
I think it's the same thing with Santa. It's like,
I agree.
You know what I mean? Like you're not getting this. I'm not getting a suitcase full of Power Rangers. I'm getting like, I don't even remember. I just wasn't getting that top echelon of all those gifts around the Christmas tree. So go ahead. She didn't want to admit it.
So our family is friends with his family, and the grandfather. The girls were like between me and my sister. No, get this, is between my sister and I's age. So their grandfather is like a professional Santa Claus. And he goes around to like,
Nailed
I
it.
mean, all of the like Fort Worth elite families that hire Santa Clauses for their
Hell yeah.
Christmas parties is him and like the Bass family. Like, so when my sister was younger, they like told her, and she didn't know that was their grandfather. And so he called her by her name, and it was like, oh, how does he know my name? And then, so with those girls, like the granddaughters and my little sister, they had like convinced that like, no, this is the real Santa Claus.
Yeah.
And so it's just like gone on for so long.
Do you think that? Oh, go ahead.
I don't know. She doesn't anymore. She doesn't believe in the Tooth Fairy, the Easter Bunny, any of that jazz. But I just don't know.
I think
she doesn't
feels
want to let
guilty.
go.
She's like so innocent, and she just feels guilty. Like, you know.
Do you think the professional Santas get like a rap sheet of the kids they're about to go see?
Yeah.
Yeah,
get
for
like
parties they do. Yeah,
They get like a rap sheet. Yeah. I have a
Like, you think they know if they've been at juvie or not?
yeah. It's like, hey, don't even come sit on this lap. You know you're getting cold, dog. Don't even get close to me. All right. Let's keep this lap like, drug free over here. I would say, my parents' best friends, they live here in town. I cannot think of the name of the place they go to, but it's the big Christmas thing that they do right by the where's the Texas State Fair at?
Like the Cotton Bowl area?
Yeah, but there's a name for it.
Like Fair Park.
Fairgrounds. The
Or
fairgrounds.
I don't know.
It's the
I don't
fairgrounds. The fairgrounds. He's the Santa there, and that's like, I mean, it's huge. We went and saw him last year, and he fucking killed Santa. I mean, like he killed the part. He killed the part of Santa. He was
Damn. know.
incredible.
Crushed it. I knew.
Yeah, he didn't. It wasn't a Tim Allen situation where he became Santa afterward because he killed Santa. No, he crushed the character of Santa.
We got it. We got
Just
it.
want to let
Yeah.
everybody out there know.
Yeah.
And so I mean, like you can tell when someone's good at being Santa and when they're just phoning it in,
Yeah.
right? But I think, do you think? I mean, would that be? We've been talking about this wager. It's not called weight wager, but health wager. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
whatever.
Do you think you would gain some weight to play Santa in your 60s if we make it that far? I would love to be Santa. I don't think I have the bravado to be Santa. They'll be like, Santa, your voice sounds nasally. What's going on with you? Why, But I think it would be fun to play Santa. I have played Santa before at some, I was invited to a friend's Christmas thing. My parents were out of town. It wasn't even I think it was on Christmas Eve or maybe the day before Christmas Eve, so the 3rd. And I just played Santa, and I was 22 years old, and it was so fun. It was and they were just making fun of me the whole time. They're all friends of mine, and they all had their nieces and nephews and their cousins come sit on my lap and ask me for stuff. But I mean, it's fulfilling, honestly.
That's Callan's dream.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I don't, dude, here's the deal. I don't like other people's kids.
Yeah, but when
really don't.
When you got a red and white suit in between you and that kid, you can just. I like playing characters. I think it's fun to be in a bit and just
yeah, no, the character role of that's great, but I don't know, man.
It's fun. I couldn't do it for every day. Be oh, we got to put the suit on again. But just one in, one out kind of a deal.
You got to think, though, how many kids don't even want to be in your lap that are screaming, crying, your parents trying to get a picture.
Mm-hmm.
That's your day-to-day, man.
Yeah. And so, also, I told you they're family friends, this couple, the guy that plays Santa, his daughter and I, first Santa picture ever together was at Hewlin Mall.
Okay.
And there's a picture of her, crying. We're having matching outfits.
Yeah.
We got to recreate that. That was pretty special.
In you
his
could
lap.
be Santa, and I could be an elf. I got the ears for it.
You do. Yeah. You got the little...
So
yeah, you just look a little mischievous elf.
Dude, I don't know.
I don't think I'm not there yet. If I turn into be able to look like my dad later in life, then maybe. He's a big guy. His nickname's Bear. He's he looks like a bear.
Yeah.
He could play Santa. Yeah, that's the fuck. If you guys want to think of what elf Tommy would be, it'd be like Dopey. Is it Dopey?
Yeah, but I don't
it
look
Dopey?
like
Is that his
I
name?
don't look like the
Snow White elf.
yeah, or like the boxer's ears, the cauliflower,
Oh, yeah.
It's not gross. It's not
That's why he wears headphones, so you
Um,
can't see how disgusting they look.
No,
Oh, he
dude,
took-
it's not that bad. But if you hit that side profile,
Yeah.
we're
We're just kidding. No, he has whatever. They're
Yeah.
fine elves. They're fun ears, whatever. It doesn't
no.
matter.
My
so
point,
cute.
my
Mhm.
point is like the elf probably can get more breaks.
I do
than
wanna
Santa.
I do wanna say-
you're on call.
Yeah, they do. Then you can switch them in and out. No kid really cares about the elves.
Yeah,
I do want to say, but they do. I think they work as hard as the Santa because they got to be like, hey, this kid's
I
kind of a
think
little
I'm-
shithead.
I think I'm out at that point.
But I had to. So this is the first Christmas I've had with. I gave Lulu's kids gifts last year, but I didn't really know them very well, and I didn't know
Yeah,
their whole
you weren't-
stance,
yeah.
if they're pro or anti Santa, what was going on. So I've been like navigating that, and nope, none of them believe. Like even the youngest, like the son, I was like, hey, so what are you gonna ask Santa this year? Like, are we gonna go sit on his lap? And he's like, no, I don't really.
You were trying to get in the spirit, and they were
Trying to-
like,
I don't really give a shit about that. I don't really. They do have pictures with it. It's cute, but like, yeah, they're past that age, so I don't have to do any of the ring of the bell or the sleigh bell. But yeah, we
well, that
watched.
kind of makes life a little easier.
I was fucking with him the other night though. We watched Polar Express, and we have one of those bells or whatever on our tree, and he was ringing it and stuff. He was like, whatever, and I was like, I can't hear that. What are you doing? Like, that's broken. We need to get a new ornament. He's like, you can't hear it? You can't hear it? And I was like, no, I don't know. Like, what's going on? And that, like, just like the little teasing. I get why people, Santa's fun. Santa's can be fun.
Yeah, it's
Just fucking with kids. That's
yeah.
really what it comes down to. People say that the Christmas time is really about, giving and receiving gifts, but it's really just fucking with children and just, trolling them because you don't get to do that all the time.
Next episode, should we talk about Elf on the Shelf is just a way to bully your kids?
We can talk about it right now because it's gotten worse. 'Cause
Yeah,
this-
Oh my gosh, it's like traumatizing almost.
So I saw one of my friends sent me a meme that was like,
it's crazy.
yeah,
I
one of them was like, 2010, and it showed like it was like, oh, I fucked with my kids and told them that, the elf moved. He was in this room and now he's in this room. And then it's like the next, it's like 2022.
Yeah, it's like your Instagram is your brag board of your elf on the shelf every year.
2022,
It's like-
I tricked my kids into thinking the elf shit all over
Yeah.
their face.
yeah, that was the next part of the GIF. It was
Yeah.
like,
I think I saw the
it's
same
just
one.
like,
Yeah.
what is going on? Why everybody has to one up each other?
Getting
and
ridiculous.
You're just traumatizing your child. But I mean, also when we had Friendsgiving, we can end on this because I will tell you guys, next episode is going to be something kind of special, and we'll talk about that towards the end. It's very. What do you want to say about this?
For all our creatives out there,
Yeah, it's going to be
tune
very
in. For all of our
experimental.
technologically advanced folks, tune in.
Yeah,
For all of our curious friends,
yeah.
tune in.
Tune in. So, at our not Friendsgiving, at our friends gift exchange thing that we did, where I used to, since we're millennials, we all used to live with each other, right? We had like all the everything decorations set up, and we had a Christmas tree out in the garage, and that's where usually people would come in. And I had a nanny cam hidden in the tree. So, and there was a table out in front of the garage, and it had shots on it. It had Rumple Mints and
Okay.
it had Fireball, and it was like
That'll
to go
warm-
into the
warm
party.
you up
Yeah,
inside.
to go into the party, you must take a shot. And the elf on the shelf, that's what I named the nanny cam. It was projected onto the living room TV. So you would see when someone was about to walk in. You could see them kind of like navigating through the garage, and you're like, oh, here we go. Let's see if they do it. And, if they didn't take a shot, as soon as they walked in the door, people would just be like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Boo, fuck you, go back to the garage. And it just like upped that level that's why we started having lobsters and chickens being delivered under the Christmas tree, because you set the bar.
And next year, it's
Before
got to
you-
be even better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
They
anyway,
got a butt chug a four loco.
exactly. There was a lot of Smirnoff ices under the tree.
Which
for
you were
sure.
telling us wasn't.
I think someone has done a butt chug at one of those.
Yeah.
I've seen one in college, and
It was.
it's not the most fun thing to watch. It's very
the most fun time of the
tribalist.
year.
It's just very It just makes you want to move on to the next year. This year's canceled.
What
Let's
a
move on.
jolly experience.
So this is what we're going to do for the next episode, and I'm excited for it, okay? So we're just going to tease it a little bit. That way, when you guys get into the next episode, you're like, what is going on? There's a thing that's coming on that has, like, just taken the world by
blowing
storm.
up.
It's called GPT, okay?
Yeah. I mean, when Gary V is posting about it, like.
It's the next thing.
Yeah.
We're going to let an AI computer generate some of the things that we talk about, and we're just going to let it fly, let it go out, and it's going to be pretty improbable, pretty experimental. So we're going to try that next week. I'm excited about it.
Yeah. It ought to be interesting, to say the least. Yeah, I tell you what, it is definitely Christmas is in stride. It's probably, time if you're listening to this and you haven't got all your gifts.
Go to the Healing Mall. Go pick up some gifts.
Yeah, you got to chance it now. You got to really chance it. You got to get out there and get it. We know what happens with deliveries this time of year. Last year was an absolute train wreck for some people.
Is that a Polar Express pun?
Yeah. I didn't want to derail
That a boy.
where we were headed,
That a boy.
but I'm getting shaking heads in the
Yeah,
back.
let's get us back on track here.
So anyhow,
Are you done?
yeah, we're done. We're done with the puns.
Yeah, we're done also with the podcast.
We appreciate all of you very much. Be sure and keep sharing. That's where I was going.
Yeah, it's
At Post Hump Day on all socials, Spotify, Apple, YouTube. We're now on Rumble also.
Rumble. What's that?
So
Reddit.
it's the next big thing. We're also on Reddit. We've got a subreddit.
Send us
out
some
there.
questions. We'd love to
Yeah.
answer them. I love
It's
answering
heating
questions.
up, baby.
All right, this has been the PhD podcast. My name is Kellen King.
Tommy DeSalt. We'll see you next week.